focus remains Delhi Chief Minister's surrender. Well, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is all set to surrender today as Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court reserved the order on Kejriwal's interim bail plea for 5th of June. Now, Kejriwal will first go to Ghat and pay tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. From there, he will go to Hanuman Temple in Connaught Place to seek blessings of Lord Hanuman. From there, he will further go to the party house and meet all the party workers and party leaders. After addressing his party workers, the Delhi Chief Minister will finally leave for Tihar jail. So these are the latest inputs that we are tracking at this point of time. Now, remember, Arvind Kejriwal is all set to surrender this time today, as Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court had reserved the order on Kejriwal's interim bail plea for 5th of June. Now, Kejriwal will first, according to the details that we've been garnering from the ground, Kejriwal will first go to Rajghat and pay tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. From there, he will further move to Hanuman Temple and seek blessings of Lord Hanuman from there, and will go to the party office to address to all the workers and party leaders. Now, let's take a look at some of the reactions that we are getting on this report.
पैरोल पर बाहर आए अरविंद केजरीवाल की पैरोल की अवधि खत्म हो रही है और उनको आज सरेंडर करना है। लेकिन ये तो अरविंद केजरीवाल हैं जो भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप में बंद होने के बावजूद कहते हैं कि मुझे गर्व है। ये आम आदमी पार्टी के लोग ही कर सकते हैं।
No kind of extension can be granted, and in fact the trial court too reserving order on
live visuals of Arvind Kejriwal at Rajghat. These are the latest visuals that we are tracking from the ground. Now remember, Kejriwal will
pay tributes to Mahatma Gandhi. We can see right my camera person Rama Shankar showing you continuous visuals of how Kejriwal is now entered inside Rajghat to pay tributes to Mahatma Gandhi, and after that he will be heading towards the Hanuman Temple in Connaught Place. He says that he is a big, he is one of the very stout devotees of Lord Hanuman, as he says. And after Rajghat, he will be heading there. In fact, various AAP leaders are also reaching here, including Mr. Kailash Gehlot and other senior leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party might also accompany him. But you can see in the visuals that Mr. Ramashankar is showing you how Arvind Kejriwal is actually paying tributes here at Rajghat before his historic surrender at, in fact, the Tihar jail that will be happening in the next few hours. But at this particular point of time, what is very clear is that Arvind Kejriwal had no respite. He had to surrender back to, in fact, the Tihar jail, and now he is heading back to the Tihar jail in the next few next few hours. He will first head to the Hanuman Temple, go visit Hanumanji, and then next he will go to the party office, address the party cadre there, and then he will in fact head towards the Tihar jail to his final destination. As we say, at this particular point of time, he will be heading to his final destination of Tihar jail today, as he will be surrendering after there was no respite from the legal system to the Delhi Chief Minister.
Right, Ananya, since you're tracking all the details from the ground, and right now you just pointed out the fact that there has been no respite for Arvind Kejriwal on legal terms, take us through the bail plea details. Can you provide more detailed explanation of the charges that are against him in the entire excise policy? One. Second, why and what were the reasons why his bail plea has been rejected time and again?
Well, definitely, Arvind Kejriwal had, if you remember, challenged his arrest first of all before, in fact, a trial court, before, in fact, the Delhi High Court, then before the Supreme Court. The orders on the same have been reserved, though for the interim of the election period, he was granted an interim bail. The charges that he faces, Kuina, is with regards to Section 3 of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and not only Section 3 of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, but also Section 70 of the Money Laundering Act, that is the vicarious liability. If you remember, the last charge sheet that was filed by, in fact, the Enforcement Directorate in this particular case is with regards to the role of the Delhi Chief Minister and the Aam Aadmi Party. Remember that the Supreme Court had earlier questioned, in fact, the Enforcement Directorate as to why the Aam Aadmi Party is not an accused in this case, and this final charge sheet that is now coming into the picture makes the Aam Aadmi Party too an accused, and because of that, Arvind Kejriwal has two roles. One is his individual roles where he had received kickbacks, where he demanded kickbacks, and that the kickbacks were used for the Goa election. Almost 45 crores were used. He stayed in a 7-star hotel in Goa while during the election campaigning in the state of Goa, and post that that money which the expenses of the same were paid in cash and that cash was received through Hawala transactions is what in fact the Enforcement Directorate had to say. Not only this, it is also stated that almost an amount of 45 crores came in from Hawala channels to the funding in Goa, and the whole Goa elections was funding like that. 100 crores was the demand made by Arvind Kejriwal to BRS leader K. Kavita. 50 crores was being arranged by K. Kavita and the other half was being arranged by Manguta Srinivasalu Reddy. In fact, the fresh charge sheet also has strike details of how Arvind Kejriwal had a WhatsApp conversation with Mr. Vinod Chauhan, who is said to be one of the who was dealing with these Hawala operators, and various incriminating chats have also come out, though that charge sheet is yet to be taken cognizance of, and hence more details of it cannot be shared at this particular point of time. But this is what the Enforcement Directorate had told the court. Not only this, it also stated that due to the influence of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal and the other senior leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, various wholesalers in Punjab especially were actually arm twisted, who were not agreeing to this demand of the higher profit margins that were to be given and the kickbacks to be given to in fact the Aam Aadmi Party, and the kickbacks were not accepted by in fact these wholesalers, and hence their liquor licenses were cancelled, their businesses were shut down. These are the allegations against in fact the Delhi Chief Minister and various other people. In fact, the Enforcement Directorate calls Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, the kingpin and the brain behind this whole criminal conspiracy.
Indeed.
So how much of it does it play up? Whether or not Arvind Kejriwal would be able to secure a relief on 5th of June, we'll have to wait for that.
Right, Ananya, since you've been tracking all the details from the ground and tracking Arvind Kejriwal's itinerary right now, take us through the legal implications of this Kejriwal's surrender today and what might happen next in the entire legal process.
Well, Arvind Kejriwal was granted an interim bail for an interregnum period till 2nd of June, that is today. And today he had to surrender back to, in fact, the Tihar jail. He is in the judicial custody of the Rouse Avenue Court. If you remember, Special CBI Judge Kaveri Baveja is dealing with this particular case. And he's said to be in the custody of this particular court. After that, when he'll surrender back to the Tihar jail, there would be an application for judicial custody that would be moved by, in fact, the Enforcement Directorate before the court, because it had been put into abeyance since Mr. Kejriwal was actually out on interim bail. And today that application would be heard and the judicial custody might be extended in this particular case, because the Supreme Court orders were very, very clear that Mr. Kejriwal will have to come back and surrender on the 2nd of June is what the Supreme Court had to say. In fact, it had granted him bail only for the purposes of election campaigning. And what is very, very clear is that even an attempt was made to see if at all, if I can show you the visuals, Kuhina, Arvind Kejriwal, paying tributes and what is he doing at Rajghat. You can see right in the visuals various Aam Aadmi Party cadre with him also assisting the CM, who will be heading back to the Tihar jail. What would happen to the party is a big question, because there would be problems in managing the government there, because there are various roles attached to a chief minister, and how will he be playing with that? That is something that would be very, very important, because at this particular point of time the national capital faces an acute shortage of water. And how will the Delhi government be dealing with it? Whether there would be various things that would require the CM's approval, that would be interesting to see. But at this particular point of time, what is very, very clear is that the Delhi Chief Minister, who have been denied relief from every court in the country, whether it's the trial court, whether it's the High Court and now the Supreme Court also, he will be heading back to the Tihar jail. We'll try, he will be any time coming out of the Rajghat, and we'll try to speak to him. Also, we'll try to put in a mic and see if at all the Delhi Chief Minister tries to speak and whatever he wants to say. So you can see the Delhi Chief Minister now coming out, the party cadre coming out first, and then the leaders would come out, and then Mr. Kejriwal being taken out in higher security. CM साहब कुछ कहना है आपको आज आप You can see Kuhina, we tried, though he did not answer anything. He is now sitting back in his car, would be heading next, in fact, to the Hanuman temple in Connaught Place, one of the oldest temples in the national capital. He says he's a stout devotee of Lord Hanuman, and that's why he's going there before heading back to the Tihar jail. He'll also be going to the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, where he will be addressing the party cadre there. But very clearly at this particular point of time, the last thing that he would be doing, he would be heading to his final destination, that is the Tihar jail, and where he will be surrendering back to the Tihar jail.